to the Rooted Family Podcast, where we learn how to mindfully boost our brains for optimal health and learning. Join me, Erin Sadler, teacher, speaker, brain health coach, yoga instructor, founder of the Rooted Family, but most importantly, mom of 3, as we talk about how we can bring peace, prosperity, and fun into homes, schools, and communities. We all want to raise families that thrive in the world, not just survive. And this podcast will help you do just that. Thanks for joining us. Let's get growing together. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I am so excited to share with you Nicole Moll. She is a wife, a mama to 3 boys, and a creative entrepreneur. She founded the company Box of Balloons. Box of Balloons is a 501 nonprofit on a mission to make each birthday happy and every child celebrated. She provides everything needed for a birthday celebration to a family in need by putting it all into a box and giving it to the parents or caregivers. Community social workers and advocates identify children in need and then submit the birthday box request. She started here in Sun Prairie and now has grown to 37 chapters in 22 states. And we're going to talk a little bit about her amazing story, how and why she started, how she manages this awesome nonprofit company while being a mom, and how you can teach your kids to give back. So without further ado, here's my interview with Nicole Moll from Box of Balloons. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rooted Family Podcast. I know you heard a little bit about Nicole. I'm so excited that she is here today. We're going to dive right in because I feel like, Nicole, your story speaks to so many of us moms who have the creative running through them. And it's part of who they were before they had kids. And they're feeling that outlet. I think when you're a creative, you always have that push and it keeps coming back like a wave because it's part of who you are. But when you have little kids at home or you're momming and you're running the Uber all the time, it's hard to always find that time to have that creative. And I think what you did was amazing in that you blended the give back with the creative and made something brand new that we had never seen before. So the balancing your creative self, giving back, and momaging a family is a really delicate balance. So I'm just so thankful and grateful you're here today to share your story. You're a mom of 3. Can we start off by saying what ages your kids are?
Sure, and thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You're so welcome.
Yes, I have 3 kids, 3 boys, and so they are 10, 9, and 7.
Awesome.
Very active. We are in like full sports mode right now and hopping around to every sport possible.
Yeah, lots of Ubering in the car.
Exactly.
People going to practices and coming back. So we have 2 that are about the same age. I have a 10-year-old boy, and then I have a just turned 8-year-old girl. So so we're right in the thick of the momhood right now. So if you could tell us a little bit about why you started Box of Balloons, which is your company. You guys heard a little bit about that in the intro, and how that gave you your creative and your give back all at the same time.
Yes. So when my youngest, he's currently 7, when he was about 1, I was just kind of searching. I had a part-time job. I had 3 kids, doing all the toddler things, but I just felt like there was something more that I needed to fill that creativity tank up, but I also wanted something for my community. I just felt like every day it was kind of the same hustle and bustle, the same schedule, and before I knew it, it was bedtime. And I was like, man, what did I do for anyone else today? And we were just in that season where every weekend we were going to birthday parties. And it was fun. All of my friends had kids, the same ages. My kids looked forward to it. And so every weekend was just a big, giant themed birthday party.
That's so true. You do go through that season. I think we're still in that season, but especially when they're little.
Yes.
You do spend a lot of, and you're at the party with them.
Exactly. Yep. It was a family affair. We're all going a couple hours. And so one day I was just driving and it dawned on me, man, to have a birthday party, it takes a lot of resources, not
Totally.
only money to buy the stuff, but a space to have it and friends and family. And I thought, we're so privileged. Like, we don't even think about that. My kids aren't
Right.
thinking about that. And I have a social work background. So I've always, done something in social work. And so I thought, wow, what do families who don't have those resources do? I mean,
Right.
those children still have birthdays. They still
Yeah.
deserve to be celebrated.
Right.
But what are they doing? And so I just started to do some research, started to reach out to some of my social work friends and coworkers and just say, what are these families doing? Is this a need? And is anyone helping? Is anyone providing some sort of resource?
Yeah.
And what I found was it was a need, because we know everyone has a birthday. I mean, they're not
Right.
going away. But there was really no organization kind of tackling this. As we know, there's a lot of organizations fulfilling the basic needs, which
Right,
is
totally.
essential. They need to be doing that. But there's not a lot of organizations or resources for some of those beyond basic needs.
Yeah. And I think until I met you and met your business, I had never really truly thought of that either. I mean, until I saw what you guys were doing, I didn't think, birthdays to kids, and especially in our society today in the United States, they are such a big deal, and they're taught,
Yes.
they talk about them at school, and so to not be able to either provide one for your kid because you're trying to make life work for you, or to be that kid in the situation, as I think so many are, who know I'm not going to ask for any of that. But they truly need to be celebrated just like every child needs to be celebrated.
Yes.
And in those special moments that parents want to give to kids and kids want to celebrate. I think that's incredible. So, what were you finding from the kids you were serving? Like, once you started this whole thing and you started having these parties, sort of explain to me how it started when you started actually putting these parties together.
Yeah, so we started contacting school social workers. So we
Okay.
started in Sun Prairie,
So
Wisconsin.
smart. What a good way to do
Yeah,
it.
and we thought, the school social workers see the kids, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
They know the children who are in need. We knew from the very beginning we wouldn't be able to take a request directly from parents. There's just too much liability, too hard to
Yeah.
discern, if they truly are going to need it, if they're going to use it, that sort of thing. So we knew we wanted some sort of social worker involved.
Okay.
So we went into the schools and we said, we want to celebrate kids. We believe every single child deserves a birthday party and deserves to feel loved and unique and special. And we want to put everything needed for the party into a box and give it to the family. And so from there, the school social workers just started filling out our online request form, and we gathered volunteers together to donate the party items, and we put
Yeah.
it all in a box and deliver it back to the school or the social worker, and they get it to the families. And so we're serving children who are, on the free and reduced lunch program. We're serving children who are living in homeless shelters. We're serving children who are living in domestic abuse shelters. We work with quite a few hospitals, so trying to serve children
yeah.
who are in a children's hospital. So really, families and children who would not be able to celebrate otherwise.
Right. Yes. Due to circumstances or what life is throwing at them at that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I think too, going through the school and the social worker is just such a good connection for school to home and building those trust relationships. I think that goes a long way too. And seeing that the community supports you if you are having a struggling moment too.
Yes.
And feeling supported.
And we've heard from so many social workers, this is the one positive thing I get to do in my week. This is the one, good thing that they get to do, and a good interaction and positive with the family as well.
Oh, that's amazing. So tell us about a couple of the parties. I know you've thrown so many.
Yes.
But tell us about a couple of the parties and what the impact you've seen.
Yes. So, every party is unique. Every birthday box has the same number of items and the same supplies, but the child or family can request a theme, and they can request certain items. And so every single birthday box is very unique, and especially the volunteers that get involved. You know, some volunteers are really crafty. Some volunteers go above and beyond with the birthday gift. But there was one little boy, he wanted a superhero birthday party, and so I had made superhero capes for all the kids.
Oh, wow.
And he had never had a bike before, and that was just kind of a big deal to him. He, all of his friends had a bike, and he wanted to learn to ride. And so we had an amazing volunteer who donated a bike as his birthday gift.
That makes me tear up just sitting here. That's amazing.
And so to get the thank you note from the mom and just, she was able to give that to him. We really want to be behind the scenes. We want to be a no strings attached organization, and we want the kids to feel and to see this party coming from their parents or caregivers, not from stranger volunteers.
Yes, exactly.
So the mom was able to give her own son a bike for the very first time.
Oh.
And so that party was just special and has always stuck out to me.
That is such a good one. I think when I think about the brain perspective, and I think about what that gives to that families as far as that connection and those brain builders and those neurotransmitters that are firing off like crazy, all that oxytocin, that love neurotransmitter. But I also think about all the people that put the box together and go through that process, how that actually builds their brains as well. Mm-hmm. And it builds that empathy factor. It builds all those neurotransmitters that get released, that serotonin. So really that mental health component, you guys slide in across the board from the moment it comes to the social worker, like you were saying, and she said that's the one good thing she gets to do in her day. You're building her brain. Everybody who donates, you're building their brains. And then the actual family that you're helping, they get those brain builders. And that's so, even if that child never knows what went into it getting there, that love and support that parent feels gets passed on to that child, which is just, when I think of it from a brain perspective, I'm like, oh, look at all those wires coming together and that connection. That story, the invisible string. It's like all those invisible strings of brain connection going on. Awesome. So I want to talk about a minute. You were saying a little bit about the superhero party and how each theme sort of draws in other people. In our family in particular, my kiddos like going on and seeing what the themes are, and then my 13-year-old baking machine.
Oh my goodness.
She'll be like, oh my gosh, it's a unicorn theme, and then we've pulled up all of Pinterest, and now I'm looking at how I help her make rainbow cupcakes, and I'm like, I think this is past my skill set. But she would give back all afternoon baking for Box of Balloons. And what I love is that there are so many times when our family goes to volunteer, we go to a soup kitchen and volunteer. We serve supper. And myself, my husband, and my oldest can usually do it, but the two youngers are too young to go in. And I understand all the reasons why. But when we want to go do something as a family, there's not always something we can do. Or a lot of times you have to leave your home to go do something. And there's the time constraints like you and I were talking. If you're momming, you don't always have a ton of time to do this. But what I love about this is that you can do it as a family. You can volunteer as a family. You can do as much or as little as you can do. And you can really play upon those strengths. And you're helping your kids give back, grow their gratitude, grow their kindness, grow their empathy skills while helping somebody else. And that's one of the things I love about it. So my own kiddos have made cupcakes before and donated them. And then one time, one of my kids had a birthday party, and then I don't know if you guys have ever had this, but they switched themes at the last minute. Like,
yes.
I wanted it to be a unicorn party, and then like the minute before, they're like, my dying wish is to have a mermaid party. I don't know where you got unicorns from, and you're like, you've been talking about unicorns for the past 6 months, but that's okay. We will mermaid this up. So I had so many like unicorn birthday. I'm like, here, please take this. I don't want it in my house. So if you have any of those things sitting in your house that maybe your kids have grown up and you're like, oh, those tablecloths from way back when, and you want to donate those, by all means, Box of Balloons is a great way to do that. The other thing that I think I've talked about before is our family does that give back jar where we just put our spare change in, and then we as a family decide where it wants to go. And my kids always love, Box of Balloons is one of their options because it resonates that it goes to kids.
Yes.
And they like that.
Yeah. And that was one of the things when I started Box of Balloons. My kids were 4, 3, and 1. And like you said, there was nowhere I could go volunteer with them.
Yeah.
Most of the places I looked into, you needed to be 16 or older. You needed to have a background check. You couldn't have kids. And I was like, man, how do I volunteer but also start teaching them what it means to give back and about kindness? And so that was just another reason I wanted something that I could do with my kids, something that was, easy and not overly time consuming, but that they could relate to.
Yeah.
And they have a birthday party every year and they have a birthday, and so they, of course, can relate to that.
I love that. And you call it your Kids Helping Kids volunteer program.
Yes.
And do you have to do anything special, like fill out any forms when you go in?
So we have a page on our website for Kids Helping Kids. We really, welcome kids of all ages. We truly believe that anyone at any age can throw kindness like confetti and can give back. And so on our Kids Helping Kids webpage, we have different projects. So kids can sign up to be a kid volunteer. You pick 3 different projects, or if you want to, get super creative and come up with your own, you do the 3 projects, let us know when you're finished with them, and then you become a kid ambassador. And so then throughout the year, we have special events and special projects for our kid ambassadors, unique things that they can do in their community or nationally to help box the balloons and to just spread kindness.
I love that. And how empowering for kids, too.
Yes.
To be a kid ambassador. What a good name.
I know. My youngest is a kid ambassador, and you get a T-shirt, and he just wears that thing to school and tells everyone, I'm a kid ambassador.
Move over.
Exactly.
I got some kindness to spread.
Yes.
Move it over. That is awesome. And I have to ask you, because this is, by all means, one of my favorite things. And I don't know if it's a local Sun Prairie chapter or if this is like a national thing. But the donating the Halloween candy. I'm not telling you. The morning after Halloween, I'm like, let's round it up.
Yes.
It's going to box of balloons. And my kids, because they know it's going to kids' birthday parties, are like, by all means. There's not very many times, even sometimes when they say, like, if you donate to your dentist, you get that. My kids are like, I'm not giving it to the dentist. But with box of balloons, they're like, oh, that will help a kid's birthday party. And they are like, we'll keep our top 10 pieces and you can give the rest away.
Yes. So our Sun Prairie chapter leader did start that, and it has spread. So now all of our chapters post about it and do that. All of our birthday boxes include a party game or activity, and piñatas are always a popular party game. Everyone loves a piñata at any age.
For sure.
But when we give piñatas, we always make sure that we either give them with candy or we fill them ahead of time with candy. And so our Sun Prairie chapter leader said, if anyone has extra Halloween candy, and oh my goodness, you should have seen the amount she got. And so now it's just a continuous thing, and we can then use the candy to fill piñatas for the birthday boxes.
That is awesome. And I will say, too, from a parenting hack, is to just let them know up front. Because my kids actually, now that we've done it a few years in a row, they actually take some of their trick-or-treating like they're giving it to box of balloons.
Yes.
I mean, I've heard my littlest walk up to the door and be like, this one, she has a peanut allergy. So she'll be like, this one has peanuts. And somebody will be like, oh, hang on. And she's like, nope, I'm just going to give it to box of balloons. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then we go on our way. So they really feel like they're doing a service and not just collecting candy for themselves. And then the whole time they know that they're going to give it back. So for me, there's no fighting it. So hallelujah. Thank you so much for giving our family that, because I'm telling you, it's cut down on so much like hoarding of Halloween candy.
Yes, throwing it all away when no one eats it. And
don't you hate that? I
I
don't want them to eat it, but I also feel like it's made, and that's so wasteful.
Right.
Oh, so I'm so glad that we get to spread it out so that everybody gets a little.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so tell me about how many states you guys are in now, and how many chapters, and what you're looking as far as expansion, in case somebody's listening and they're thinking, oh my gosh, this is my jam.
Yes. So like I mentioned, we started in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, and I really did not have a great grand vision. I thought, you know what, if we can celebrate one child, that is one child who, gets a birthday party that wouldn't otherwise. Yeah. And it just quickly spread, and a couple months after we started, I had people contacting saying, I love this idea. A friend of mine posted it on social media, or I saw pictures. Can I do this? And so really from the beginning, we kind of have had the vision of having a chapter in every state so that kids across the country, everywhere can be celebrated. That's awesome. So we are currently in 22 states.
Wow.
We have 37 chapters. And so this year we kind of made a list of 12 states we wanted to get in to just make some goals. We did research based on free and reduced lunch statistics, homelessness with families. And so our goal is to have a chapter in every single state.
That's awesome.
All of our chapters are led by volunteers, so it's also just spreading kindness across the country, volunteers, people giving back.
That's awesome. And so let's say you are like us, you're a mom and you have the itties, but you feel that creative nudge, but you're maybe like, I'm not going to lead a whole chapter. Tell us how exactly you jump in to just start that little bit.
Yes.
Just to give that one little thing to give back. Where do you recommend people start?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways. If you have a local chapter near you, you can join their volunteer team. So we need about 7 people per birthday box to help make that happen. And it's all volunteers. And so you can join your local team, and it's really flexible. You'll get an email with the next birthday party. And if it works for you, if the timing works, you want to sign up to donate a gift or cupcakes or, party decorations, you can do that. If you don't have a local chapter near you, we have a Pledge Your Birthday program. So
love
kind of
that.
like you were saying with collecting the spare change.
Yeah.
If you or your child has a birthday, you can pledge it to Box of Balloons. And so then you can tell party
cool.
guests, family, friends, can you make a donation to Box of Balloons in my child's honor or in my honor? And then we're able to use those funds to give birthday parties to children anywhere, who may need it. And so that's just a great way for people to get involved if there's not currently a chapter near you.
And that is another thing I love about you guys, especially when I do it with my family, is we go through seasons like everybody else does where sports are super crazy and we
Yes.
feel crazy. So but when it slows down or when I feel like we need a connection moment as a family and we need to do something to give back, then we can just go on and pick somebody's theme or
Yes.
do that one thing. And then we might go a little while before we do it again. But I never want to ever let anybody down and like have a recurring role. But this way we really get to pick and choose, which I really love.
Yeah, we really wanted it to be flexible, especially for moms, because we know that, things come in seasons and sometimes it's really hectic. But we also know that moms always want to give back, and people do want to do good. When it gets
Yes.
down to the root of it, people really are good and want to give back. And so we wanted to kind of merge those and make it easy and fun and convenient so people can do that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about this Camp Celebrate. I think this is such a great idea. Give us a little background on what Camp Celebrate is.
Yes. So every year in November, we throw an annual birthday bash. And so it's really our one annual fundraising event that is family friendly. It not only raises funds for us to continue on to celebrate more kids in need, but it also celebrates our birthday as an organization.
That's awesome.
So we started in November. And so this year, we're turning 6.
Wow.
And it's a camping theme. So each year it's really just a giant birthday party with a different theme. Family friendly. There's treats and snacks and entertainment and all sorts of things. And so this year it is camping theme. So we are bringing the joy of camping outdoors inside.
That is so fun. And what kid does not love camping?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
going to be fun. We're going to have campfire songs and
my
camping
gosh.
yoga.
Oh my gosh,
a
that's
trail mix
awesome.
bar. I mean, just all sorts of really fun things. And it's all going to be inside. So
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't matter what the weather
A
is.
little bit of glamping.
Yes,
I like that. Yeah,
exactly.
that's my kind of camping is a little
Yes.
bit of glamping. Indoor camping is always fun.
Yes.
And so one last thing I have, like you don't do enough already. I'm just so impressed. But you also wrote a book.
Yes.
Okay, so because I also have written a few books, and you wrote a children's book, which is also my jam. So I want to hear all about it because I have not read it yet.
Okay.
So I want to know all about it.
Yes. So I got the idea. My kids love books, and I go into their classrooms usually monthly and read a picture book and do some sort of activity. And so I thought, man, wouldn't that be fun if Box of Balloons had a book that I could take in their classroom
yeah.
and read? So I did a little research, and I thought, okay, anyone can write a book. I
Right.
know this. And so I just researched. I figured it out. I met an illustrator who lives in Virginia, actually. So we've never met in person, but that was kind of fun. And so I wrote the story. I just researched the children's books that we already like.
Yes.
I had my kids help me. They read through things.
How fun.
So I wrote the story, just really the how and the why behind Box of Balloons, but from
Yeah.
a child's perspective. And then she illustrated it, and then we worked with a publisher out of Milwaukee.
Very
and so we got
cool.
it published, and it released late last year.
Okay.
And it's, the story of Box of Balloons and then a story on kindness, teaching kids how easy it is to be kind and to give back. And
I
so
love that.
now I take it to schools and I do school presentations with it in the classrooms. We sell it at our events, and then all the proceeds go back into the organization so that we can celebrate kids in need.
That's awesome. So where can you find it? Website, obviously.
Yep, on our website. It's also on Amazon,
Okay.
Barnes & Noble.
And what's it called?
It's called Box of Balloons.
Okay.
Yes.
Very easy to remember.
Exactly.
Box of Balloons.
Yes.
And if you are thinking, if as you're listening to this podcast, you're like, oh, this is kind of what I've been looking for. Our family's way to give a little give back in a way that my kids can really identify with. The book might be a great way to introduce this to your family.
Yes.
Just to explain exactly what you're going to be doing for somebody else so that they have an understanding of that. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, and it's been really fun, too, to see different teachers purchase the book and use it in their
Yeah.
classrooms as well to just, spread that and to just kind of educate people, on kindness and how easy it is.
Yeah. See, and now my mind's like racing. I'm like, oh my gosh, think of all these different activities my kids do. And even they could, we always have these fundraisers and things we do. But I always love the fundraisers that do a give back to
Yes.
somebody. So that's such, and I think we're always looking for ways to teach our kids that, to give the gratitude and the give back and the kindness and to build those empathy skills. Because when we do that, we're really building the respect and the responsibility for ourselves, for others, for the world, the empathy skills that our kids need that actually develop their brains so much to help with their cognitive learning. So we don't always think of those empathy skills being connected to their cognitive abilities, but it's huge in how they do that. So just helping build smarter, better, healthier brains for our kids and for our families by making some cupcakes
Yes.
or donating some supplies or deciding to get behind this child's birthday and make a difference in that child's life. That's just amazing. Well, thank you so, Nicole. I can't even tell you. It's been an honor to know you.
Oh, thank you.
And meet you and to see all the amazing things you started here. It's such an inspiration to see what you started in Sun Prairie and now are growing across 50 states.
Yes.
Because I think I, too, very often am like, I'm in Little Sun Prairie and we're just starting, but to see the potential and how much people want to be helpful and give back. Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our podcast with Nicole. After we got done, I was sitting and thinking I want to do more for this organization. We have dabbled in helping, and I just wanted to make a little bit bigger impact for Box of Balloons. So here's what I'm going to do. For everybody listening out there, everybody who's doing Box of Balloons, let's grow this a little further. I am going to put my money where my mouth is in talking on this podcast and supporting this great cause. Anybody who joins the Rooted Family Circle, and I'll put the link in the podcast notes, but you can always find us at therootedfamily.com. You can join the Rooted Family Circle in the months of October and November 2019. Use the code Box of Balloons Give. Again, that's Box of Balloons Give, all caps. I will have this right in the show notes, so just click on over to the show notes and you'll find it. And if you join the Rooted Family Circle, put in the code Box of Balloons Gives. I will donate the entire first month of your membership to the Rooted Family Circle. I will donate that first membership to Box of Balloons. And if you don't already know, for every membership purchase for the Rooted Family Circle, the Rooted Family Circle, gives one to a military family for a free membership to help them connect with their families and boost those brains. So here's the amazing thing you will be doing. And then you can just take a nap because you have done all the amazingness for the day. So you are giving a triple give when you join the membership in October and November because you are mindfully brain boosting your family and helping to give peace. You are mindfully giving to Box of Balloons to helping them pursue their mission by giving that whole first month's membership donation back to them. And you are giving an entire lifetime membership to a military family. All that giving should boost your brain and all those feel-good neurotransmitters for quite some time. The Rooted Family Circle is our online membership. Find out more about it. But join us. You can cancel at any time, but we want to help boost your family's brain mindfully, create peace in your house. You can join Box of Balloons and help them give back and give to a military family all at the same time. So I hope you join me. If you're looking for any more information, you can always catch me at The Rooted Family on the Insta, the Twitter, the Facebook. You can see me on YouTube, or you're right here at the podcast. Just do a little deeper dive. The website where you can always find my little house is therootedfamily.com. I'm happy to share any information I have with you. I have so many free resources. In the free resources, you can download my free book, or you can look at having me come and visit you. I'm actually going to be starting a Southern tour in November. So I am always looking to come spread the word about how we can peacefully parent